Kampala, the capital of Uganda, faces serious challenges. Rapid population growth has seen numbers grow tenfold. The informal economy dominates the activities of its inhabitants, and environmental conditions are deteriorating as the city is being further tested by climate change.
We have been overwhelmed by the influx of population, and of course because of that pressure we find that sometimes development is running ahead of planning.
Nevertheless, Kampala has many assets. The city's shape and identity are defined by a network of more than 30 hills and the presence of Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa and an area of exceptional biodiversity shared by Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania. The city is also at the forefront of urban innovation. Small-scale initiatives in digital technology and organic waste recycling are blooming, led by businesses, informal communities and local authorities such as the KCCA, the Kampala Capital City Authority. In line with the objectives set by its climate plan, the KCCA, with the support of the French Development Agency, called upon Les Ateliers to organise an urban planning workshop. The aim was to create a place, a moment where the city's energy, the diversity of its inhabitants and its dynamics could converge.
I welcome you to this opening ceremony. The theme of this workshop is Green and Innovative Kampala.
Nous aimons beaucoup travailler avec les ateliers de Cergy. Il y a une expertise en matière d'urbanisme qui est reconnue sur le plan international. Ça permet de penser hors du cadre. Il va forcément y avoir des idées qui vont émerger et qui seront mises en œuvre demain. J'en suis persuadé, j'en suis convaincu.
Les Ateliers has been organising urban design workshops since 1982. Employing collective creativity, they provide project developers and local authorities with an international perspective and illustrated proposals for their territorial development strategies. With over 80 workshops having been held across the globe, this international network of elected officials and experts, comprised of current and former participants, continues to grow. Each workshop involves a nearly year-long collective preparation process, which is carried out in close collaboration with the soliciting territory from both afar and in the field. In February 2019, a delegation of experts, along with the president of Les Ateliers, met with local authorities from the KCCA and representatives from the City Ministry, the French Development Agency and Makerere University to gain insight on the issues facing the Ugandan capital and to decide the workshop's topic: how to prepare the city for climate change by building on local resources and initiatives.
Also, the title of the workshop is Green and Innovative Kampala. And the idea was, how can we see lots of opportunities are happening in the city and lots of energies, we called it in the end, that are working in an isolated manner, and how could we optimize those ideas and make them work in a collaborative, holistic manner.
The team at Les Ateliers selected 18 volunteer participants, all experienced professionals from a wide range of fields and from countries around the world, with a third of them being Ugandan. Right from the start of the 2-week session, the participants began to meet with local actors, visiting the sites of major transportation and infrastructure projects, as well as informal settlements with mobilised communities and innovative enterprises.
Is this available everywhere, this thing?
Not everywhere.
We met a lot of communities having ideas and implementing solutions, but the big challenge is for them is to scale up.
The key issues that emerged were how to protect Kampala from environmental risks, deadly floods, dwindling wetlands, erosion, pollution and waste overflow, and how to incorporate the many local initiatives led by both private companies and informal communities into a circular economy and well-managed metropolitan development. Participants, divided into 3 teams, had one objective: to present proposals within 10 days to a national and international jury assembled for the occasion.
En même temps qu'on discute, je dessine généralement. Là, on visualise par le haut la situation, par exemple, du port près de Kampala. Le but étant effectivement d'illustrer les propos pour pouvoir assez rapidement converger sur des solutions. Et tout de suite, quand on brainstorm, on va quand même beaucoup plus loin parce qu'on a une visualisation et ça permet de fédérer en fait, et de faire converger les gens sur une idée.
On the shores of Lake Victoria, the landscape, tourism and environmental potential have yet to be fully unlocked. And while water is a clear asset, it also represents considerable risk in this city where soil impermeability can lead to flooding. For a sustainable and resilient urban ecosystem, Team A proposed to develop the wetlands, integrating them into a productive system of market gardening and fish farming. Setting a clear limit for urban expansion by respecting the area's existing topography, infrastructure solutions were designed to follow the natural paths of the city's waterways. Maintenance of this infrastructure would then be carried out by inhabitants, supported by local know-how and the circular economy.
Now, in between this taro plant, we're going to add lemongrass and mint in between, just to repel the insect cut.
Because it's the size of a papyrus.
In Bwezi, the city's oldest informal district, Team B, hoping to improve living conditions for Kampalans, focused on informality, mobility and flooding, following a day in the life, work and travels of a local resident, Mrs. B.
We were given the name Group B, and we expanded that name from the letter B to the verb to be and the insect, the bee. BEE also in South Africa stands for Black Economic Empowerment. The strategy is to develop a series of small, what we're calling nodes, which are just small infrastructure points that help to address some of the basic day-to-day challenges, things like water taps, and some very basic services. And the node is intended to be something that's modular and expandable. You can plug things into it as the need arises, so it can be built incrementally to ramp up from something as basic as a toilet to something as complex as a marketplace, a transport hub.
Located in neighbouring Wakiso, Kambalanga Hill isn't technically in Kampala. But as the metropolitan area extends well beyond the KCCA's boundaries, the opening ceremony was an important moment as it allowed for dialogue between the mayor of one of the communes and the KCCA.
We are very thankful because what affects Kampala affects us in Chira municipality and probably the entire Wakiso district.
Focusing on this metropolitan dimension, Team C was able to revisit the city's entire production system. Its proposed urban restructuring strategy was based on the city's topography and used the financial and social mechanisms of the informal economy to increase household incomes and provide affordable housing.
So today the Exchange Forum was an opportunity to share some of our initial ideas with people that we actually engaged with in the beginning, but also the other teams that are participating in this workshop. It's been very enriching to get some feedback.
On a senti un grincement de dents quand on a fait une proposition sur des espaces qui étaient déjà, on va dire, à 90% construits. La ville est vivante, elle se transforme en permanence. Il y a une pertinence à déjà voir à moyen et long terme comment transformer la ville après-demain.
At the end of 2 very intense weeks, proposals were presented to the international jury at a public event. The jury was co-chaired by the Mayor of Kampala, the Executive Director of the Kampala Authority, and the President of les Ateliers, Pierre-André Peressol.
C'est un échange équilibré entre, à travers la France, les différents continents et l'Afrique. C'est comme ça qu'on s'enrichit les uns et les autres, en confrontant, en échangeant nos expériences positives ou négatives.
Après tous les entretiens que nous avons eus, je réalise que Kampala a beaucoup de similitudes avec la ville de Douala. Les enjeux sont similaires, que ce soit économiques, démographiques, sociaux, environnementaux surtout. Donc c'est donc tout naturellement que mes attentes sont très grandes par rapport à cet atelier-là.
The deliberations were the occasion for major debate concerning resilience in the Ugandan capital.
On est là pour mettre à disposition des responsables locaux des solutions qu'ils vont s'approprier.
So the strongest point of les Ateliers is the way it has managed to bring together people from different experiences, but people from different countries, the developed and developing countries, and I think that's a very big advantage that we have with this workshop.
The jury's conclusions? Decentralisation by bringing production and services as close as possible, and local and national public policies that will support economic development through community initiatives and small business. This bottom-up approach will allow Kampala to respond collectively to its environmental challenges.
These proposals here are going to be a guiding tool shaping that strategic plan. That's why we treasure them so much. We want to reach out to them and transform our communities and make them sustainable. And we take it as a critical challenge to deal with that shift from that business as usual scenario to a properly planned and guided direction and path.